To Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. My name's Zach, GM of the restaurant. We have
Sean Cullen, Sportsbook Director.
Eric Osterman, Director of Digital Gaming.
All right, so this is our first time doing like a live stream.
We're live.
So give us a little bit of a break here. But yeah, we wanted to touch on a couple points from this last week's NFL slot, especially the Packers and Steelers.
First off, Austin Herdina, Sportsbook Manager. Couldn't join us today. He's a little under the weather, so we're going to try and take up the slack. He's awesome.
He's the guy.
But, feel better, Austin. And let's talk about Packers.
Get well soon, Eric. Austin. Yeah, Packers continue to roll, right? I think a lot of what the Packers are seemingly trying to do to me is really focus on that ball control. Something that I mentioned last week that we really needed to see from them. And, I like what I'm seeing so far. This is the part of the season that really starts to become trying for these top teams, right? Load management hasn't necessarily made its way into the NFL yet, but it's in the back of these guys' minds about staying healthy for a playoff run. So interesting to see how they go going forward, and if they can keep that kind of same focus on ball control.
Right, I agree with that. I think you're kind of hitting it spot on. I mean, we saw a big game out of Eric Wilson. It might not have shown up on the stat sheet, but with Jacobs being hobbled or kind of lingering injury from a few weeks ago, I think Eric Wilson, Eric Wilson, the running back, has really stepped up and filled that void and really controlled the ball for us.
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think the Steelers lost that game before they even stepped on the field because those uniforms were absolutely atrocious. You gotta look good in order to play good.
I kind of like the helmets, but then the rest of it to go with it. They lost me.
Yeah, those uniforms were atrocious. And then on the other side, you got the all white. What is it? The winter warning for the Packers. That's clean. That. So right out of the gate, the Packers had a leg up in that one. So I think it still just comes down to. There weren't mistakes or bad decisions. Sometimes Jordan Love gets, we're seeing some of these things that are inexplicable at times where he makes these decisions or inactions where he doesn't throw the ball or takes a sack or this or that. And, I think if he can just minimize those mistakes and just manage the game more effectively, they're going to be all right, they're going to be just fine.
He catches some flack for throwing off of his back foot, right?
Yeah.
And,
I noticed
it kind of drives me nuts watching it, but to be honest with you, it doesn't matter if you're holding on to the ball, right?
So that's been a huge thing for the last number of years. I've been a huge critic of his footwork because I feel like that's when it seems much improved so far this year, his footwork. Decision making still, he needs a little bit of that field general, just go out and learn how to win games, I feel like.
Yeah.
The footwork seems improved, but throwing off of it, he seems to be throwing up like in years past, like a MJ fadeaway. All of his passes are fadeaways, and he's fallen away from.
I got something to add to that.
Yeah.
So, 20 straight completions. That's a franchise record. So,
impressive.
I mean, let's just give the guy the credit he deserves. I mean, I know we the guy across from him was great.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love is equally becoming a great quarterback for the Packers, and I'm excited to see where they go. The game itself has changed a little bit versus what we're used to seeing the Packers do, but maybe this addition of Christian Watson will really take that offense to the next level because I feel like
they do need a number one, right? Like they do need a bona fide number one receiver. So
right.
Hopefully he can do that.
Hey, trade deadline's coming up. Maybe AJ Brown.
Maybe.
Why not?
If he's healthy, sure.
Why not us? Leads me kind of into the next thing. So, I mean, we all watched this weekend slate of games. Does anything kind of jump off the board to you? I know we were talking a little bit before about some of the performances this weekend.
Well,
Bills.
Yeah, I know Sean's going to want to talk about this quite a bit, but that was a huge takeaway for me is how the Bills were able to run the ball. That's been their knock. Basically, Josh Allen's entire career is that he's their only option on offense, and see James Cook cook like that was really
What do you have in
impressive.
the first half? 189 yards?
Yeah, it sounds right. Yeah, and probably laid off a bit in the second half. Maybe could have put up 3 bills there if they would have just let him go. But
Yeah.
I know in our sports book here at Potawatomi, there was a guest that was in the restroom for Cook's long touchdown run there. I forget exactly how long it was, but he came running out of the restroom and ran to his buddy sitting at the bar, and they were all celebrating. They obviously knew that he had over Cook's rushing yards for the. I thought maybe they had anytime touchdown. I didn't realize that he had that many yards that early in the game.
Teased up the line a little bit. It's always a good
Yeah.
bet. For me, I think it goes back to, we talked about it before. I think Drake May's performance this season is I mean, it's
you
amazing.
can't ignore it. Yeah. For a team that was not really expected to do much, maybe be around that 500 mark this year, they're greatly overperforming, and you have to say it's all due to Drake. Really impressive stuff he's doing, and hats off to the coaching staff out there for empowering him to kind of be in this position.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be that good, you also have to have confidence, and that comes from your coaching staff. And he's not doing that with big name receivers. I mean, you have Stephon Diggs there, who's a leader. I don't know if he's the alpha he used to be.
Yeah.
Kashan Butte is catching touchdowns, and once Travion Henderson gets going, I think that offense is going to be a force to be reckoned with his ability to throw the deep ball. And I was actually listening to Steve Young on one of our TVs the other day, and they were explaining how hard it is to throw that deep ball as accurate as he has, and it's a lot of air yards under it. But he's just been incredible.
Yeah. I think my takeaway from the weekend is got to be the Texans. I mean, they were a team that a lot of people expected to win that division. Really haven't looked the part so far this year. Obviously a lot of injuries going on there, but the offense has just looked anemic, really. For C.J. Stroud to get on, hopefully, hit his stride a little bit in the passing game, I think that's going to be huge for them. And, that the division seems to be maybe out of reach, with Indy playing as well as they are, but definitely a wild card spot still going to be available. So if Houston can figure that offense out, I think they can really stir some things up.
Yeah, I agree. I think it takes them being healthy and coming into this time of the year. I know we were talking before, a healthy team going into the playoffs, or we're just playing through those injuries, makes a big difference. So kind of segueing away from that, guys, previewing the Carolina versus Green Bay game this weekend. What are our thoughts? What do we got to see?
13 points is a lot.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably stay away from the points if I'm a betting man. I mean, we talked before this, the Packers have had a bit of trouble covering so far this year. But for me, I just want to see a clean game, right? I mean, it's a game they are expected to go out and win, obviously, given the point spread. And, they need to not turn the ball over. They need to run the ball effectively and, get out of there clean with the momentum continuing, right? Keep the confidence going. Don't do anything to put that in jeopardy.
And stay healthy.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people may not realize this, but Carolina's got quite the defense over there. I mean, they got a lot of takeaways. They get sacks. So, I mean, not to be slept on. I think it's their offense that people are giving us the points for, just because I know they're out Bryce Young. But, yeah, I mean, don't discount that defense there in Carolina.
I'm just interested to see kind of a, it's a reference point from me being a Bills fan and upstate New York guy, and now living in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, and being a bit of a Packers fan myself. Seeing what the Bills did to them last week, and then seeing how, an NFC team and the Packers stack up, and see. I feel like it's a measuring stick kind of for the Packers to come. Everyone pretty much agrees that obviously the Bills are one of the top AFC teams, and kind of seeing the progress that this Packers team is making year over year, and seeing exactly where they stand, and and seeing if they can do something similar to what the Bills did to them last week.
Yeah, I mean, we are still the second youngest team in the NFL. So, I mean, the future's bright in Green Bay. Micah Parsons as an addition has definitely paid off. I think he's won Defensive Player of the Month for the NFC. I think that was official today. And he's been every bit the part, I mean, if he's not getting sacks, he's definitely impacting the game.
I was just doing his little one race.
Oh yeah, the guy is just an animal, and he's got a motor that doesn't stop. And I think that's why the Packers went out, got him, gave up what they gave up for him, and paid the man.
Kudos to the front office for identifying a potential weak spot, right? If you look at the Super Bowl winners, basically going back through all time, like what do they all have in common? They're able to get to the quarterback. A lot it gets said about the offense, but if you're not pressuring the other team's quarterback, you're going to have a hard time. So, kudos to the front office for going out and making that move. It would have been easy to pass on them and say, we'll develop, somebody, but they're in win now mode. And, that was really nice to see.
I mean, even on the other side, everyone got better because of him 100%. Being there. Rashawn Gary is now, I mean, not that he wasn't impactful, but he was doing it by himself, right? So that whole defensive line is making a difference. I mean, it's incredible to watch. I'm super happy to be able to watch some of the prime years of Micah Parsons and Jordan Love and just watch this team grow and develop. So if people come out here early on Sunday, what's the benefit of that? Coming out betting early on Sunday?
Yeah, so, NFL lines are available all week. Well, even, a couple of weeks in advance. But on NFL Sundays, 8 to 10 a.m. on property here at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, we have early bird special in Sportsbook, where roughly you earn 5 times points. It depends on your tier, but 5 times sports betting points. That's 8 to 10 a.m. We do that to, we feel like if guests are going to come earlier, they're going to have a better experience. Then they'll lessen the rush towards noon and kickoff for NFL. So therefore, those guests that procrastinate, sleep in a little bit, will have also a better experience. Yeah. But we want everyone to have a pleasant experience, get their bets in, in a timely manner. We don't want anyone waiting too long, and so we want to encourage and then reward guests who come in early on Sunday mornings, get their bets in early. With 5 times rewards points in Sportsbook. That's a kiosk and at the sports betting counter. So with ticket writers and on kiosks, they get 5 times points when you use your rewards card.
Yeah, and it's been very busy, as Sean would tell anybody. So if you can get in here early, beat the line, a little extra incentive there for you.
Plus, before all the injuries are announced, you can get those better odds early in the morning.
There you go.
Kind of segueing to the Bucks right now. I'm sorry. We're going to go to World Series. See, this is the beauty of live stream.
That's right.
So we'll talk about the World Series a little bit. What is it now? 3-2?
3-2 Toronto. I guess I'll be the first one to say I was wrong in this. On this very show last week, I picked the Dodgers in 5. That's obviously not possible.
We've reached
anymore.
that point.
Pretty sure I bookmarked that too.
Yeah.
Put me on.
Yeah,
Put it up there.
We all picked the Dodgers, I believe. So.
I didn't because I wasn't on. So.
He would have picked the Dodgers.
It's been he would have picked Toronto, I bet. But it's been a surprising series. A lot to say about the Blue Jays offense against that Dodgers pitching staff, but the Blue Jays pitching, they've really come in and shown out, and that's really, to me, has been the difference in the series. I thought that long extra inning game was going to do them in.
18 innings.
Yeah, the Dodgers are so deep, right? Like that's what they built this team for. For the Blue Jays to come back and win the next game was huge.
I mean, that was a battle of attrition, that game. 18 innings. I mean, it could have gone either way. And I think the bigger story, kind of like you said, is not only the pitching for the Blue Jays, but the lack of offense for the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
We knew coming into the series the Dodgers didn't have a great bullpen.
Right.
But they had enough of a great group of starting pitchers. And I know we talked about it after they ran through the Brewers. But they got to them, and they got to them early often, and they've been, I mean, I think they even went over the spread yesterday, which was, no, it was under yesterday because it was 8. So they only put up 7 yesterday. But Estevez, that pitcher for the Blue Jays, 23 years old.
Yeah.
12 strikeouts. That's incredible.
Yep.
In the World Series.
I don't have too much to add. I know from that game was, what game was that? Game 4? The
Was that
18 inning one?
Yeah.
I mean, from to share some perspective and behind the scenes from the content management of a sports book. If you've been on our property and you've been in our sports book, you've seen the TVs, you've seen the video wall, and we have capabilities of throwing up, like 30 games at a time. And pretty much everything that's live, we can get up someplace. And, the technology and you have to have a system. You have to have a system for managing content like that. And, this was a scenario where that game was running so, like, we had to close. Like, we were closed and going home, and we still had a game going on, know?
We still had the bar going, though. We were serving cocktails. I mean, that's the beauty of it. We can kind of play a little bit with our hours as far as operating the restaurant. So,
yeah.
And also, Sean just said, from a sportsbook point of view, we've had some kind of surprising results from these games, right? A lot more people are backing the Blue Jays than I would have thought. I don't know if you're seeing that as well on the floor.
I mean, I feel like I'm joining in. So again, I was a Yankees guy before I was converted to Brewers now. Being here long enough, I think it's it's not too difficult when the team's as successful as they are too. But I like to join the bandwagon of rooting against the big market teams with the buku bucks and the enormous payrolls and this and that. So it's nice to root for the underdog and the teams with who have to win without buying all of their athletes and all of their talent.
Yeah, tons of great players from tons of different franchises across the MLB. I mean, Freddie Freeman, who won them Game 4, longtime Brave. I mean, it's what's really impressive is it's funny because a lot of these guys that the Blue Jays have, they were out trying to get Ohtani. They were trying to get what's the name of that pitcher for Yamamoto?
Yeah.
I mean, they cleared so much cap space. I mean, I heard that Ohtani doesn't want to give them any of their gifts back to the Blue Jays. So, I mean, it's funny to see that is it fair to say they're putting it on them a little bit here?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of revenge there for the Blue Jays. I mean, people do forget that they went after Ohtani really hard. They were probably the other team, right, in the runnings besides the Dodgers, and to miss on both of those guys and then get to play them in the World Series, that's a nice little revenge spot there for them.
Bittersweet.
Revenge is sweet.
Mm-hmm. Revenge is sweet.
A real quick story from my past before I got into sports books. Speaking of this 18-inning game, I used to be involved with drug testing of baseball players, minor league baseball players. And there was one instance where we were at a game ready to do some testing, and the game went extras, and it kept going. And in a lot of these ballparks, the lighting is automated. Like there's a timer, and the timer shuts off. And so that's why I think they got to like the 13th inning of this game, and every light in the ballpark shut out. And then they're the type of lights that they took time to warm up to come back. Sure. So then they had to flip them back on. Then they had to wait for them to warm up to get back so they could finish this game. But yeah, just speaking of these, these marathon extra inning games, that's going to be.
Good thing Dodger Stadium's updated.
Right? That was a little while ago. But anyways, moving on.
So next we're going to kind of talk about the Bucks. I mean. 4 games in the next 6 nights here at the Sportsbook. I mean, it's going to be exciting here.
Yeah, I'm still. I've lived here 2.5 years now, and am starting. Well, I have realized recently, like Milwaukee is quite the NBA city. Like that, we love the NBA in Milwaukee. Not so much myself, admittedly, but I live right across the street from Pfizer, and I see the fans showing up. I see the energy. 3-1 so far on the season. We're running shuttles, so just like if you're familiar with how we ran shuttles for the Brewers, an hour and 15 minutes before tip for home Bucks games, we are running shuttles from Potawatomi from the Annex, it's called, next to the Sportsbook. Just requires a wristband. You get a wristband by a same-day bet or a food and beverage purchase in Sportsbook. So similar to the Brewers, we have shuttles to your home Bucks games as well. Parking's free. You don't have to pay for parking. Super convenient. We have a ton of it. So just come. You can park. You can place a bet if you so desire. Buy dinner before you go or something like that. Get a wristband. Hop on the shuttle. Short shuttle ride. So it's like 1.5 miles to Pfizer. So.
Right, so all you got to do is place a qualifying bet or qualifying food or beverage purchase. I mean, a soda gets you on the shuttle.
Yep. Soda gets you a wristband and gets you on the shuttle.
And I'm even newer to Milwaukee than Sean is. I've only been here since June, coming from Las Vegas. The shuttle thing is really incredible. I don't know if there are other cities that do it this way, but man, it's great. I took it for a couple of Brewers games, and I'm never going to a game another way. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's half the fun of it is the ride there and the ride back. I mean, if you've ever been on a shuttle after, I was on a shuttle for one of the Brewers' playoff victories, and coming back, it was just
it's a party.
Electric. Yeah,
everyone shares the same camaraderie, and every once in a while you'll get an opposing fan on there, and in all good fun, you can razz them a little bit, but the parking's, you don't have to worry about your parking situation, paying for parking. You don't have to worry about paying for the Uber. It's a short shuttle ride. I mean, to AmFam is even closer than Pfizer. Right. Pfizer is like 1.5 miles. So we're centrally located. It's a short shuttle ride. Place your bet if you so desire, and hop on the shuttle and go root for your team.
Yeah, just come back with your parlay that hit for $75,000, and it was a great day at the game.
Yep.
Yeah, and speaking of bets, you said the Bucks are playing 4 games in the next 6 nights. This kind of scheduling kind of opens up betting opportunities. At least I've seen, for people that are paying attention to the game, to seeing how long guys are being played for, if they're being pulled early, if they're being saved for the next game. There are spots that you can find to come in and it'd be interesting to see how the Bucks handle this. It's probably a nice barometer at the beginning of the season to see where their depth is. But if you're paying attention and you see, kind of what the Bucks are trying to do as they prepare for this stretch, there's definitely going to be some spots to make some money.
I'm a big fan of live betting because you can, instead of betting prior to, you can kind of get a flow for the game, see what's going on, see who they're playing, see who they're leaning on more. And I know this next slate, you got Golden State, you got Sacramento, we're at Indy and at Toronto. So obviously with Golden State, you got to worry about Steph Curry and his ability to shoot the three-pointer. So we'll see how our defense holds up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Giannis looks like he's Giannising as normal. I mean, he's averaging, I think, over 35 points a game right now. Ryan Rollins has really been someone who's stepped up. These guys aren't as big of NBA guys as me, but I mean, but they follow. They know Wemby's having an incredible season.
Big Wemby guy.
Big Wemby guy. And, interesting sports tidbit I got today as far as betting odds go. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie for the Sixers, has surpassed Flagg as the Rookie of the Year favorite. So that's big. So if you were a big Cooper Flagg guy coming out, it's a good time to bet him. I'm more of an Edgecombe guy, so...
Yeah, and you hear us and any professional or experienced bettor that talks about things, you'll always hear them talking about an edge or a place to get value, right? Value is a big thing in our world. So if you think that Cooper Flagg is still the front runner for Rookie of the Year, come down and make a bet, right? I mean, this is what we keep these lines open for, right? Is, things change and flow throughout the season. It wasn't too long ago that, they would have these bets open until the season started and they would come down. But, as the sports betting has progressed, these things are open a lot longer into the season, and you can definitely find some good spots.
Yeah, and then with the NBA Cup starting tomorrow, here at the Sportsbook, we're going to have a lot of people here, a lot of betting going on for that. That's always big draw. Come in, lock the Bucks as repeat champs. I don't think we're favorites now. I bet it's probably OKC, but
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We won it before. Let's do it again.
I don't think I'm trying to remember back to last year when they won it. I don't think they were
even up there.
I don't think they were in the top 3, probably.
Yeah.
I don't really recall specifically, but
I think didn't somebody have it on a ticket that we mentioned last week? Go back and watch last week's episode. And,
before
give it a
futures
rewatch.
bets.
Yeah.
What did they bet? Like $100 to win 75,000.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the one I was referencing earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good ticket.
One.
Yeah, Bucks to win the NBA Cup, Dodgers to win the NL.
Yeah. Ohio State.
And Philly to win the
and
NFC.
Philly to win the NFC. Yeah.
Yep. What
Fun
an assembly!
What was the wager? What was the stake
I think it was
amount?
$100 or
$100
$10
to
or
win, like,
something at 75,000.
75 G's.
Geez, talk about cooking. I wish I was that guy.
The artwork is out for the Bucks NBA Cup court as well. Looks pretty sick. It's got a lot of elements of the trophy, the NBA Cup. So they're the defending champion, so that cup is in there and used throughout as a theme. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, I think again, admittedly, like Eric not being a big NBA guy, I think the NBA Cup it's something cool to root for because it's a condensed version of there can be another winner of something that matters a little bit rather than just one season long winner. Like it's like an instant gratification thing. It's this mid-season thing. It's a different vibe, different feel to it. And,
I know they get paid.
And the Bucks won last year, so
I know they get paid.
Big support.
I think they get like $1 million on that, and maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But
it's the players
need more money.
I think the going back to last year, I think probably Giannis and Dame, and they're trying to look out for their counterparts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun season for the Bucks. I did see, if you roll back some clips, I did say I thought Giannis would potentially get traded if they couldn't do it. It looks like the team is kind of picking up and putting it together this year. I will say he did that block. And he ran it down the court to the other side, did a dunk, and he said, "This is my city." So to still have that sense of pride here, the joy that playing here brings him. Maybe he just stays a Buck forever, and that's his legacy.
Yeah, pretty rare these days.
Yeah,
not a lot of athletes do that, so that would be pretty special.
Yeah, definitely, especially for him. I know I said it before. This city. He owes this city nothing anymore. He brought a championship to Milwaukee. And it's up to us to continue to support him, the organization, to give him the pieces he needs. And it looks like he's happy and he's playing well, and the Bucks themselves are playing well. You said 3-1, so can't ask for anything better. But with that kind of being said, I think we should cook. Let's get some picks in, huh?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm gonna let you lead this one off.
All right. So my first pick, one that we touched on previously in the show. We talked about Drake May. He's just looked fantastic. The Patriots seem to be rolling. But on the other side of this game, the Falcons kind of seem to be in disarray. I know that I think London and Penix are both on track to maybe come back this week. But last I saw the injury report that the jury was still out on that, and I think even if they do play, the Falcons aren't a team that I'm really looking to back right now. So for my first pick, I'm going to take the Patriots minus the 5.5 at home.
I like that, and they've been averaging about 30 points a game.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody come in and stop that offense, right? Ride the hot hand and fade the team that doesn't look so good. That's typically a recipe for success. If only it were that easy. But
I mean, they just lost against the Dolphins, who I said last week was the worst team in football, and they and they beat them handedly.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins looked like a mess.
They're obviously a different team with Penix, right? I mean, I think Kirk Cousins, he's on the last leg
somewhere.
He does, but he doesn't look like a starter.
He did not look like I wouldn't start him in Miami. No offense to Kirk, your time has come and gone. What about you? What are you thinking this weekend?
You know what I'm thinking? Game to me, this is the game of the week. I mean, Chiefs at Bills.
Absolutely.
Right? Game of the week, AFC contenders. Chiefs. So I'm kind of surprised by the Chiefs this year, especially after the season they had last year. Really? I kind of thought that they had a little bit of a dynasty going there, and I thought they've been kind of like their time has passed and they're not the same team.
No.
They looked like that at certain points last year, for sure.
Like last year, I felt like they didn't deserve the success. I feel like they were riding on their previous successes and they were playing that. It was like a mental game of people, their opponents were thinking like it's still the Chiefs, but they weren't the same team. Mm-hmm. And they look like they've bounced back. They look like a much better team this year than they did last year.
Just finding all the pieces and putting it together.
Yeah, so being a Bills fan, I'm a little bit nervous. Like I was hoping that their time had passed and it was the Bills' time to rise up and kind of be that top AFC contender along with the the Ravens. But we've seen how that's gone, unfortunately, with injuries to Lamar and others. But the Chiefs at Bills, so the Bills are at home. They're getting 2 points.
Bills Mafia.
They looked good last week.
Yeah, and the Bills last week, I think the Bills have some unrealized potential. I think they unlocked some of that last week. I haven't been too impressed with the Bills this year so far. I feel like they have that unrealized potential and they need to take the next step into just start hanging performances like they did last week. And the Chiefs are I'm underwhelmed with the Bills. I'm overwhelmed and impressed by the Chiefs so far. But I think it's the Bills need to win one of these games over the Chiefs to kind of put their stamp on the AFC and to let them know
we're
kind of what's what, and
we ain't go nowhere.
Yeah. Hopefully the bye week was what the Bills needed, right? And it seemed like it came at a perfect time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm noticing about the Bills versus years past is their inability to throw the deep ball. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're AJ Brown suitor for the deadline. I think the deadline's on the 4th, so maybe they go out, grab themselves an alpha.
So I first noticed it with their exit from last year, their last playoff game last year, where it just looked like their offense never looked so boring and so safe in my life. And that's just not Josh Allen is still a work in progress. I mean,
he's Josh Allen.
Last year's MVP, but still has room for improvement. But you need to let him be that wild child a little bit. You need to turn him loose and let him rip some stuff. And their offense in their last playoff game last year when they lost was just – they looked so timid and so scared. And part of what makes them scary is like I don't remember if it was last week or it wasn't the week before because they had a bye, but like right out of the gate, one of their first plays was like a 40-yard pass. I feel like they need to go out of their way to make sure that that's part of the threat and part of their offense.
Some guys open. I mean, they have a high drafted wide receiver in Keon Coleman. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have Dalton Kincaid, they have James Cook, so they have the weapons. And Josh has the talent. So, I mean, what's holding them back right now? You know what I mean?
I think Sean touched on it. Like, it's that offense being safe and boring, right? I mean, at a certain point, you got to let your thoroughbreds run. Mm-hmm. And I think we saw that last week, with James Cook's performance, like we already mentioned. And, they're going to have to do that this week, right? Kansas City is going to put points on the board. Mm-hmm. So Maybe that total is even looking a little bit low. I don't know. I think
What's the total on that one?
I think it was just over 50, maybe 50 and a half.
52.
Oh, 52.
Sitting squarely at 52 right now.
Yeah, so maybe there's a little something to be played on there. So they're both, I mean, they're going to match each other. We know that.
Plus 106
7
for
touchdowns
Buffalo.
and a field goal.
That's not a bad bet either. I mean, again, we talk about value. Getting Buffalo at plus odds is not bad value.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, Sean's going to hate this one.
Oh,
So, I'm on the other side of that.
Oh,
You can't stop Patrick.
Controversy
at the desk here.
Yeah, you can't
blah,
stop
blah.
Patrick Mahomes. I mean, with that big of a game on the slate, we got to talk about it. I mean, Kansas City. I mean, they're looking like Kansas City, an Andy Reid coach team. Patrick Mahomes is, I think, covered or gone over 300 yards in the last 4 out of 5 games.
Yeah. Any concern with the 2 picks last week? No, one of them wasn't his fault. It bounced off of Kelsey's hands, but
I really, for me, Patrick Mahomes is like Rodgers was in his prime. No matter how, if you leave time on the clock for that man, and it's the fourth quarter, he's gonna make you pay. And I think that's what you're gonna see this week too. And you know what, I'm bold enough to even say I'd take them over. You know, I tease that line up a little bit. I think they put it on them pretty handedly. I mean,
well, you can afford to tease at one point pretty safely.
yeah. I mean, you tease it up a little bit. Take them by a field goal or more if you want to. I think they win by a touchdown. I mean, it's not so much the Buffalo's inability. I think it's just Kansas City's ability to score points, and I just don't think Buffalo's defense has been much to really talk about. I mean, they just lost.
I agree
Oliver.
with that. I mean, my biggest concern is their defense doesn't look very good against decent offenses. Their offense has some unrealized potential. They can put up points, but they haven't been super consistent lately. They were towards the beginning of the season, but their defense, from years past, their defense certainly looks like it's not as strong as it has been in the last few years.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about our betting menu here at Potawatomi is if you can't decide who to bet on, we have hundreds of props that you can come and play on that game. So, back Sean, back Zach, or back neither, and come play some props.
You wanna back me. I know he got me with the Tennessee game a couple weeks ago. You can roll it back. I suggest you don't, but I like them, and I was looking at it before the show, and I really like the Broncos at plus 1.5, and that line looks really low against Houston. I know you were talking about Houston. What do you think of that game?
Yeah, I think that the Broncos have something to prove, right? I mean, they've been in some close games this year. They pulled out that miracle victory against the Giants, but they need to establish themselves, right? Everybody had high expectations for them coming in. It seems like that running game's getting on point. I think this is a tough spot for Denver, but like we mentioned earlier, Houston has had their problems. Still remains to be seen if the game last week was an outlier or if it's a trend. So, I would really like to see the Broncos come in and really show what they're made of. Are they a real playoff contender, or are they just a tough team that's going to end up around 500?
I don't know. I think they're the real deal too. I think they're figuring it out. I think Bo Nix is proven to be a more than above average quarterback in Sean Payton's system, and they're finding receivers on that team. Cortland Sutton has always been great, but now this guy Troy Franklin is kind of coming out of the woodwork. Had a huge game against the Cowboys last week. Mm-hmm. That's a nice bet too. Anytime touchdown for Troy Franklin. I like that one. But yeah, I mean, it's an exciting week. Put it on the board. Keep those scores going underneath us during these live streams.
Put it up there.
I know he himself would have a 1-0.
I'm 1-0.
Yeah, I am not nearly there.
Took the Bama -8 against the Vols.
Said 10.
Well, the line was -8, and then I said to throw some extra points on there just for
and he hit it
just
too.
for the hell of it.
So anyone, even the sportsbook director can win here.
I want to talk about I just because it's what I'm into, but like I want to rehash this past weekend's UFC pay-per-view real quick.
Right.
Even if it was the main event was a little disappointing because it ended in an eye rake or an eye poke that ended in a no contest. But
yeah, I picked Cyril Gahn on this show last week, so that was especially disappointing for me.
man, you must have. Did we talk about that? Maybe you might have listened to it.
No, I heard
he was live on that plus 275 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was a
No,
juicy
the
price.
value. So I felt that line was way out of whack, and I don't understand where that line came from. I agree with Aspinall being the favorite and Gahn being the dog, but I think Cyril Gahn was plus 300. I thought it should have been much, much closer than that. So myself, if I was a betting man, would have taken Gahn money line. And the way that the fight didn't last very long, but what I saw anyways, and I don't know if you guys saw it
I
or not.
watched it with you.
The fight was much closer than
Yeah.
minus 400 and plus 300 or whatever.
Yeah, I
it
couldn't
was.
tell there was a difference, and
Yeah.
I'm not even a big UFC guy. It looked like both those guys were kind of going at it, and it didn't seem like any. I've never been big on combat sports myself, but since working in the sports book and how fun it is here, I find myself just glued to the screen when these guys get in the octagon together. And
Reservations available for the next UFC pay-per-view. Go on our website, Potawatomi.com, go to the Sportsbook, click on reservations. You can reserve a table for all UFC pay-per-view events.
that's 322, right? Coming up.
322. Jack, he's got it difficult. Della Maddalena, I got it.
That's pretty good.
And Islam Makhachev.
Right,
is the main event.
Prelims start at 5, so you can catch all the prelims and all the fight cards. Even if you can't sit here because we're full in the sports book, you can watch it in the annex too.
The energy here is awesome. It's basically just a bunch of UFC fight fans all together, and the energy is awesome. It's a very, very fun place to watch fights, and you get those big reactions when there's a flash knockout or a submission or something like that. But, I mean, going back to this past weekend, I'm not gonna it was I saw the eye rake. It wasn't really a poke; it's more of a rake. But he can't see. I trust him that he can't see.
Yeah.
But I also kind of saw that maybe he thought that this guy was a little bit more than what I thought he was going to be. I'm not discounting anything from the eye poke, but Cyril Gahn is. I'm a UFC. Cyril Gahn is that dude. I watched Cyril Gahn come up. He had a terrible outing against John Jones. That's going to happen against John Jones. John Jones is the GOAT.
I even know him.
Cyril Gahn is, for a man his size, the way he moves and the way he's far more technical than any other heavyweight in the UFC. The way he moves, he's agile, his kicks, his knees and things like that. So very disheartening conclusion to that, but I'm interested to see how that goes when they run it back.
What do you think we're going to get? I assume a rematch, and then is that kind of open up for a John Jones match, or what do you think? There's
a lot of stuff. So there's this proposed event floating out there. People have probably heard about it, about a big White House UFC card on the front lawn of the White House.
That would be so fun.
So I think a lot of the future of the UFC and how they schedule their fights and things like that are going to pin around that event. I don't know when exactly that event will be planned for, but that's supposed to be like a nationwide, international spectacle of some kind. So
I think
you think John Jones will want to get his hands on
John
that?
Jones, I think I'm really sick of John. It seems like he retires and unretires and retires and unretires.
Yeah, there's a time to get back into the ring, and if you're fighting in front of the White House, why not?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's trying to get a part of it, but I'm pretty sure he's being nixed from that. But
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. They're obviously going to want to try and plan some big next level fights for that event, and I think I've heard maybe like John Jones, Alex Pereira for this event. I mean, those are the two. John Jones is the GOAT, and Alex Pereira is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest name in UFC right now.
If Pereira wins, that's 3 weight classes that would have the title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's only had
give Patty a fight.
Petty.
Give Patty a fight.
Yeah, and like a regular. I mean, Alex Pereira has only been in the UFC for like a few. He has maybe, I don't know his exact number of fights, but not that many, like 10, 11, 12 fights in the UFC, and it's a two belt holder at one point. Yeah, he's a bad man. Just that stare, his walkout and his stare. He stands across the octagon from some of the baddest men on the planet and just stares them right in their face and doesn't blink. Like that dude is something different.
That's what I respect about the combat sports. And I know, actually, isn't it this weekend, Sunday, aren't we hosting the APFC?
APFC, Anthony Pettis' fighting championship, is going to be here at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in our event center. To my knowledge, I believe tickets are still available. Doors are at 1. Goes until, I think, 9 p.m. Don't know the exact number of fights on the card, but a good number of fights. I mean, if it's going from 1 to 9 p.m., there's a lot of fights on the card.
That's a full shift.
We'll also be streaming it in the Sportsbook here at Potawatomi, so you can come watch it in the Sportsbook if you can't get a ticket.
Very cool.
Yeah, it should be fun. I haven't had the opportunity to see it. Have you?
Special guest Charles Oliveira from the UFC, just coming off a submission victory. My memory's failing me right now, but Charles, special guest for APFC this Sunday. Come visit, check it out if you want to try and get in meet and greet with Charles. The record holder for most submission victories in UFC history. Dude is slick. He's got nasty jiu-jitsu, and that's how he won his. He had a submission his last win. So.
Hey,
come check it out.
We've had a couple of these fighters walk through the Sportsbook. I remember one time you actually
Dustin,
played their
Dustin Poirier.
Yep.
Played his walkout music, little James Brown in the Sportsbook, dialed to 11.
Yeah, it's
a good time.
It was fun. I mean, again, like he said, if you haven't had the opportunity to come down here and see any of these big cards on Saturday nights, man, is it electric. You got to come down here. Kind of with that being said, I mean, just something on the food and beverage side you guys got to think about. Game day specials. So during all pro and college football games, we're doing import domestic specials on buckets of beer, $10 off beer towers, and we introduced a new cocktail here in the Sportsbook. It's called the Melon Blitz. It tastes kind of like a bomb pop. Have you ever had one of those?
No, I've had a bomb pop. I haven't had a
tastes
melon
just
blitz.
like a.
I'm gonna have to give that a shot.
Yeah,
that sounds
absolutely. Great. So yeah, come down here.
I don't know if it comes in shot form. It sounds like a drink.
It's a cocktail. But
I'm joking. Play on words.
I'll make him a shot. We'll figure out a way to make it into a shot for him. But yeah, it should be a good time. I know that we are opening early for the Packers-Lions game at noon on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So make sure you come check us out that day. We're going to be doing a special here in the Sportsbook, the Thanksgiving burger, turkey burger, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, cranberry aioli. It's gonna be a time here in the Sportsbook, and believe it or not, we will be packed. So
a cranberry
make sure
burger and a melon blitz. That sounds like a good day.
Can't be a bad one here. You know what I mean? Make sure you make your reservations online. Like Sean said, what was that link again?
Potawatomi.com, and then visit the Sportsbook page, and you'll see a reddish reservation button to click on. It'll take you straight to our reservation page. It shows you all the tables that are available.
Yeah, so the nice thing about that too, it's not a fee. It's a food and beverage credit that you're paying for. So all your food and all that price goes towards is your food and beverage. So make sure you stop down. I mean,
as an example, so if it's a $100 food and beverage minimum, you just have to spend $100 in food and beverage. There's no other costs in what you're already eating and drinking, consuming.
Right, it's not like a ticket cost to be in here. It's just something you're basically drawing from.
Get yourselves a couple of entrees, a couple of appetizers, a couple of drinks, and you cover the cost of it. And you get a seat. And if you're not at Fiserv or at Lambeau or at AmFam, like this is the place to watch sports in Milwaukee. 2,000 square foot LED video wall. We can have the ability to throw up about 30 different games, all kinds of sports. It's that time of year now. Like the sports equinox was this past Monday. That's all big four American sports leagues playing on the same day. You had the World Series. You had NFL Monday Night Football.
NHL.
NHL, NBA. It's that time of year where there's just whatever if you're an NHL person, it's not as big as some of those other, but we will have the games on and you can come and watch your NHL games and bet NHL if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
We've got it all up there, and come check it out.
I know your team's awesome about putting content on the TV. So whatever you guys want to watch, college basketball that's tipping off here soon, college football still going on, NFL, NBA, NHL, it's all here at the Sportsbook. Shout out to Austin. We miss you, bud. It's big shoes to fill driving this, but hopefully I made you proud. But I think that's all we got for today, gentlemen. If unless you guys have something to add.
No, good show, guys.
Always fun.
Appreciate you having me.
First live stream.
Fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me, but I feel like Austin's the man for this job. Feel better, Austin, and hopefully we see you back next Thursday.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Always a pleasure.